Them Damn Mexicans presents TDM Talk.
Hey, what's up, everybody, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of TDM Talk. I'm your host, David of Them Damn Mexicans. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as you guys have been doing, man. We appreciate all the love, man. Shout out to our sponsor, Barrio Land, man, for these awesome, amazing mocktails that he has in all flavors. Man, just tap in with them. There's a link in the description. You can go check them out, man. Check them out at your next pop-up or whatnot. Shout out to our viewers in the UK and Canada. Those of you that tap in and listen on Spotify, Apple, and all that good stuff, man. We appreciate you guys so much. And thank you guys. We hit 500 subscribers. We're over that now since the last time we've been on. And so we appreciate every one of you guys' support. Today we have a very special guest in the building, man. We got my homie, my brother, the man, Tutone. What up?
Man, Tutone, too grown. You know what I'm saying?
Tutone is too grown, he said.
Saying? Too strong, too legit.
Too legit to quit.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna fuck around having me do the hammer dance up in this thing.
Man, It's a pleasure, bro. I just appreciate you so much, man, for real. Like,
man, you know, it's crazy because this has been kind of like a ongoing, you know, I've been telling you for a minute now that, yo, we got to bring you on. You got to bring, you know, we got to make this happen, to the point where I almost was going to pull up on you and Zano, man. Yeah. I was like, man, I'll come to the studio, bro. Like, you know, shout out to Zano, man.
For real, that's my brother, man. Finally
got to meet him when, you know, at the studio, that studio session, you and, shout out to Cuban Diva, man. She's like, yeah, for sure, man. She was like, I wish I could have been there. You know, I'm like, yeah. But we were supposed to do this last week. And, you know, of course, things happen and we didn't get to do it. But, man, what's going on, man? How's everything, bro?
Man, life is amazing, man. Like, you know, I just continue loving life because it never stops teaching. So life is amazing. God is great. And I'm just thankful, you know, very thankful to be at where I'm at right now. Like, very thankful. I'm in a stable place where I can manage my mind now. I feel like, man, you know, I had some trauma issues, so that came by. So it was hard to manage my own mind, you know. So now I feel like I'm at a place where, hey, I can manage my own thing.
Okay. You know? Yeah, and we'll get into some of that in a minute, man. So one of the first times that you came across my radar was when we first started TDM Talk.
Yeah.
You were like, you'd be one of the first ones to tap in online, bro. Like, I would always see you on there, you know, and I used to be like, man, who was Tutone? And Mexican Connected was always like, oh, he's one of my artists, you know, and whatnot. And I was like, oh, okay. Cause sometimes we hadn't even aired and we'd see your name on there, your comment. So however you made it happen, you were able to comment. But we appreciated that, bro. I know I did for sure. Cause, you know, just to get people to view a new show, because we were fairly new at the time. We had just started, you know, so I appreciate that. But one of the things I wanted to touch on was Adrian Angelo told me, was formerly known as Blessed in the Christian hip hop community, but he told me that you did Christian hip hop back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I sure did, man.
So tell me a little bit about that, man, because I like to consider myself a Christian hip hop head, because that's how I knew him. Gangsta Loc, which is now Chicano Vega, Trey 9, New Wine, you know, I mean, it was Rascal.
Yep, the World Rejects.
You know, man, I was supposed to be getting fire in here too, man.
My boy Seven out in Cali. Man, I love Seven.
Seven is dope.
Yeah, man, I love them.
Hey, it's some Reconcile is another cat that I rock with, bro. I like his
Corey
music.
Paul.
Yeah. It's so many that was doing some dope music.
So many, man.
So what was that like, man, at the time?
Man, it was amazing, to be honest. Like,
and what made you want to get into that, though?
I didn't want to get into it when I first came around.
Yeah.
You know, I had a great friend, a great brother by the name of Pyrex.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and me and Pyrex used to run the streets together. You know, so Pyrex, there was a time that he went to jail, and Trey 9 actually went to go speak to him in jail. And you know, that led to Pyrex giving his life to Christ.
Correct.
I really wasn't fully rocking with it, but I knew one thing, that I loved my brother. I loved Pyrex. I supported everything he did. And when I was in the music game with him, I always made sure that his merchandise was being sold correctly, like handling all the cash stuff,
Yeah.
like handling all the posts on social media, like handling the sales online. Like I was doing all that for him. So
Yeah.
it wasn't going to change anything. Whether he did it in the streets and did it in secular, you know, I was going to support him in that. And then if he did it for God, I was going to support him in it, you know. So, you know, it took me about 8 months, though, to give my life to Christ, because I was trying to see what he was doing. I was like, okay, I see he gave his life to Christ, and I'm following him, you know, and I'm watching how he moves, and I'm like, damn, this man's really changing. And he's really trying. Like, he is really trying to do this. Like, he's learning how to not use certain words around his kids, moving certain things around from his kids, and like learning how to be a human, like, off of also the drug habits that he was removing.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, like, man, my brother is really trying to change. And, you know, it really inspired me to do the same as well. So I remember giving my life to Christ at a church called the 429 Church. And it was on North Shepherd and 610, and Jeremy Foster used to be the pastor.
Oh, yeah.
There. And I actually had got baptized there as well. Jeremy Foster baptized.
Didn't it turn into like another name? It was like another name like later on or something like that?
Yeah, it changed to something else now. But it's weird because it's like an old movie theater that's
yeah,
church.
correct. Yeah, I remember that. Well, yeah. I know exactly where that's at. But anyway.
Yeah, man. So man, that's how I transitioned into it, you know, and it was a beautiful moment too, because, you know, as a man, you start realizing that, you know, maybe we aren't living in some of the right ways. And, you know, at that time I had an opportunity to learn about God and who he was and who his son Jesus was. So it really was dope, because I was learning something new. Yeah. You know, I feel like when you learn something new, you know, you're eager to know about it. So
you had no prior knowledge of like you hadn't been to church or...
No, my mom never took me to church. My mom never took me to church. Never had no dad, so that was out the picture. Like, I probably went to church with... Oh, you know who I did go to church with? Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes, because they would always come knocking on the door, you know? So,
yeah.
You know, I had to learn who their God was.
Are you prepared for the Lord's return? Because if you not...
Yeah. And you know, now that I remember as a kid, I remember them knocking on my door, and there was a woman who would come to my house every week. And
early, too.
Tell me stories about God when I was young. And my mom would let them. And I thought that was pretty dope, now that I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to... I used to sit there and listen to him. You know, I would give him that respect, you know.
Yeah.
I did grow up in the church.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I was... you know, I was living right, at the end of the day. But so I understand. But that's how I met. I remember going to a church and seeing Trey 9 perform. I remember him breakdancing. I was like, oh, this is crazy, you know. And then Grape Tree Records. Dude, it's just so much. T-Bone.
Yes.
And then Cross Movement. It was a lot of groups back then that I was kind of like, yo, this is live, because it was hip hop. But being from the South, you know, we had our ghetto boys, we had our, you know, street militaries, whatever, you know. So then seeing something like Lil Rascal or New Wine coming in with that Southern, but they was talking about Christ, was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the stuff I like. It was some other cats on Gospel Gangsters, I think was
yes, Gospel Gangsters, yeah.
Man, we taking it back. I want to get Rascal. I want to get Rascal up here one day, man. I got him on Facebook, and I know he just recently became the owner, the president of like Grape Tree Records. Yeah, like he revamped it. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing with it. But that's dope, man, because that's some of my first. Because I love it. I'm gonna just go on the rap. I love rap, hip hop, all of that.
Yeah,
I love all of it, bro. So when I did finally give my life to Christ, like when I was serious about it, finally, I was like, well, okay, let me stop listening to worldly music. Let me see what I can, you know, get my hands on. And we'd go to like the Christian bookstores and try to find Christian rap, which was very small section, because.
It's like that much of a section.
Yeah, because it wasn't really accepted back then, bro.
Yeah, it was like clowned. It was like
a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Or it was the devil, is what people would say. Oh, that's devil's music.
Yeah, you know? For real.
Did you ever get any backlash like that? Like
a lot of it, man. Like when we reached and elevated in Christian hip hop and like was on Rapzilla
Yeah.
and like man, we received a lot of that and it sucks, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, there's like so many things that we could be doing that are horrible and we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're really trying to live this thing out and it's hard, it's rough, it's not easy. Like
The Christian lifestyle, the walking with Christ thing, and Anna and I have talked about this. It's not easy, man. It's not for the weak.
I feel like that's the moment you give your life to Christ is when you get tested more.
The most.
The
The more
most.
you try to do right and walk the way, walk like be like Christ, it's like you get attacked the most. You go through a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and speaking of going through a lot, from the short time that I've known you, I know you've gone through a lot. And I don't even know how old you are, bro. You seem fairly young. Um, but again, it's still a lot to go through in a short amount of time. I know you lost your mom's.
Yeah.
Uh, a friend, you had a homeboy of yours that passed too, right?
Yeah, my boy Lucky.
Lucky, yeah, yeah. And then
My brother.
and your brother. And then all this was in like how long of a span?
Literally 8 months.
8 months apart.
Hmm.
Man, for one, my condolences, bro. I know I didn't know you at the time, but I just want to say that because that can't be easy. I lost my dad and my brother-in-law, and of course, this was like damn near 10 years apart, and I know how difficult that is.
Yeah.
So for you to have to go through that, man, uh, I guess kind of walk us through a little bit about how you kind of, and I don't even say dealt, but dealing with it because I can honestly say that you're still dealing with it because we hear it in the music. I've heard it in the music. And we'll get to the project coming out in a minute. But is music something like a therapy for you?
Man, it's like, man, since I was a kid, that's the only place I could run to.
Yeah.
Even when I didn't have a studio, I remember I believe my uncle gave me a studio. My uncle, he used to build computers and stuff like that. He
Okay.
still does. And man, he had just gave me a computer and I thought it was the most dopest thing ever. I had like a little headset, the headsets with a little mic on it.
Yeah.
Like a little gamer
Yeah.
headset. And that's how I started recording music. I just wanted to record. I wanted to see how it sounded and I was doing it all on a computer. So man, music is like the biggest thing. Like there's nothing that'll make my heart beat faster than music. Like man, that's my home. That's my safest place. That's the only place where I feel like dang, like I can just like release everything that I'm going through. Like and a lot of people like I don't care about anything else
Yeah.
because like music is a therapy thing for me. I'm just thankful enough that I'm able to have people who taught me how to release it so that one, yeah, you can make money off of it. But like at the same time, I feel like helping people is more important.
Mm.
And I feel like there's more hurt people in this world than there are people doing good.
That is so true because we mask it a
Yeah.
lot of times.
Yeah.
I can probably sit here and say that every one of us is going through something
Yeah.
in our lives, but social media will tell you a different story because we put all the good on there. We don't ever put,
Yeah.
hey man, I'm over here hurt.
Yeah.
So when I ask about the music and the bit being like the therapeutic for you because I've seen you go live and you spit a verse from a song that you did and I hear a lot about I hear the pain in the music basically is what I hear a lot. That's why I ask, is it therapeutic for you to release it through the music?
Yeah, it really is, man. Sometimes, like, man, there is a few songs on my album where it's like I kind of wanted to cry in the studio just recording it because it's like, damn, like, yeah, music is very therapeutic to me to the point where it's like I'm only gonna tell the truth to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are scared of the truth.
Yeah.
And I've had friends that hit me up and they're like, "Damn, do you really want people knowing that your mom died off fentanyl and cocaine?" And I'm like, "Well, do you really want people not really knowing the truth?" Like I feel like there's certain things that the world doesn't speak about and they hold it back and they rub it, throw it under a carpet and never deal with it. It's like, dang, there's other people who are going through the same thing. And if you just explain the truth to them and give them truth through music, don't you think it at least help them out?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's one of those. and we talked about this right before going on,
Yeah.
before the cameras were rolling, about how a lot of these conversations need to be had,
Yeah.
because they're not, and of course we were talking about something entirely different at that time, but like you said, what you went through with your mom, um, it's a good testimony for someone else that they might be going through the same thing, bro, and they don't know what to do, or how to react, or so hearing someone else say it is like, damn, like, homie really went through the same thing I'm going through.
Yeah.
And we don't realize how much we can touch people's lives, even through this interview, bro. Just us, and I mean, I don't want to say interview, but even through this episode, this conversation that we're having, um, that people can get something out of it, because you're living testimony and proof that you went through all this trauma and this heartache, and yet you're here, and your outlook on life is amazing,
Yeah.
because not everybody, like, I know people that they mope all day,
Yeah.
and they probably don't even go through half the stuff that you went through.
Yeah. And this is I feel like those kind of people you just gotta figure out like, man, when it's time to grow up, it's time to grow up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was young. I was 15 when I left home. And I left home for the right reasons, not because I wanted to be in the street, but because I understood that my mother was sick. She needed somebody who could take care of her. And I was trying to graduate school. So I knew that if I graduated out of school quicker, I'll be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And man, I just feel like when it's time to grow up, man, you just had to take the initiative and say that you go to grow up. You got to understand when you're being petty. You got to understand whenever, hey, there's times that I tell myself, hey, Tutone, you need to chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like because to be honest, yeah, people get within their emotions, but you need to know what are your emotions and what are your decisions with wisdom.
Mm,
And I've had to learn how to separate the two. If
yeah.
I know that I'm feeling too much emotion, okay, I'm gonna leave that where it's at because I don't want to think with emotion. I want to think with wisdom. When I speak to you, I want to be able to speak life into you, and if it's not life, then I'm not gonna be speaking at all.
I used to always I talked about earlier about how I would coach, in baseball, and so a kid would make a mistake and get in his feelings, and it would affect them emotionally, because so now he's acting on emotion.
Hmm.
And I always say this to young men that I speak to, like, hey, and even grown men. I've told grown men this, bro.
Yeah,
Like people older than me or my age,
yeah,
like, hey man, don't react off emotion, bro. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be wrong with whatever you decide, because that emotion be so strong, you're like, nah, I want to kill her, or I want to kill him, and then
yeah,
you go and do it, and now you regret it. But it was because in the heat of the moment you acted on your emotion instead of how you said, sitting back, rationalizing, analyzing everything, and but sometimes you don't really have that time, and I guess uh God's blessed some of us with that, that power to be able to, like, okay, let me, because if I do something, or if I say something, it's gonna be a problem.
yeah. No, definitely. I feel like there's times when you got to be quick to listen and slow to speak.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because like life continues lifing. So
yeah,
the way that we run this obstacle is very important.
yeah,
Like it's an obstacle course. You got to know how to manage it.
yeah,
You got to know how to run with it, but you
yeah,
also got to know how to pace with it.
yeah.
You know,
And you got to know that it doesn't stop for no one. Time,
man.
life, it stops for no one, man. Like there's
Don't.
it sucks that it's like it's almost no time to do anything. Like you don't have time to mourn, you don't have time to sulk, you don't have time to complain, because guess what? Life goes on. You still got to get up and go to work. Them bills
Yeah,
still gonna keep coming.
they do.
You know what I'm saying?
I wish I was a millionaire so I could have had the appropriate time to cope with life and just go to the islands for 6 months and cope with my mom's death and just be there, like for real. Because it's like, man, that's true. Like nothing stops, man. You got to keep going. And it sucks because some people look at it like, dang. Even family members. Some family members will look at it like, dang, okay, it looks like he's living good. Like I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm at these shows still continuing to make something out of myself because my brother believed in me. My mom believed in me. These people who passed in my life believed in me. So who am I to stop?
yeah,
What is it that you want me to stop? You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing that I don't get, especially when it comes to family members. Like they feel, oh, he's still in the club. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to deal with my mom and my brother's death. I was in the club. I was popping bottles. I was drinking liquor. I was smoking weed. You know, but I was blinded, man. Like I didn't know. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to feel. Like
It's
my emotions were everywhere.
it's crazy because a lot of people will give advice of something they know nothing about, and they'll try to
Yeah.
tell you how to cope with something that they've never coped with. That's why, like, if you've never lost a parent, you can't tell me about how to cope with it because I went through that with my dad when my dad passed. I didn't. I thank God for my faith. My faith is what helped me get through that because
Yeah.
he gave his life to Christ and he went out preaching the word. He was preaching it to everybody, bro. And I was just like, that was very admirable. Like I looked up to that. Like I was like, yo, because he could have easily been like, man, F life, and
Yeah.
like I don't care about this. I'm ready to die.
Drinking a beer on the balcony
Drinking
and
a
you
beer on
only
the
live once.
exactly, YOLO.
Yeah, for real.
But he did it, man. He went out and he went out, like a G, like a real G. I guess I would say I don't know if that's weird to say, but
It's not. I respect
but
that,
you
man.
get that. I
get
guess you
that.
get it because I'm sure some people would be like, man, what are you
A
tripping?
G, like what
A
does that even
G,
mean? That
that's
just means
stupid.
he went out the way he was supposed to go out.
Yeah,
Like he
he
did
went out on
what
his
he-
terms, the way he
Yeah.
wanted to, man, and the way he knew that he had to, so. But anyway, man, it's very inspiring to hear that, man, because there's people out there right now, bro, that are actually gonna be watching this and going through something, and they're sitting here listening to two guys that have been through some traumatic experiences. Of course,
Yeah.
different ones, some of the same, but some different.
Yeah.
But what is something that helped you, like what was the how did you get through that? Like how, and I'm not saying like you're through it
Yeah.
because this was how long ago was this?
Man, it's barely been like a year and a month.
A year and a month. So this is literally still like fresh.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess the better question would be like how and what has helped you cope with it up until now?
Um, I feel one thing that's helped me out a lot is man, not being out. You know, because I was out too much that I had to learn how to say no.
Mm,
Because every time I wanted to be out, I would always think, is the environment good for me?
yeah.
You know, does it benefit me? You know, does it condone myself in drinking and waking up the next day feeling like crap? Like, because I don't want to feel like that anymore. You know, like I already feel like crap knowing that my brother and my mom passed. So I want to feel better when I wake up in the morning.
Correct.
So it had a lot to do with telling certain friends no, you know, removing different environments away from you. And one thing that helped me a lot with my brother is that, you know, he left behind his daughter,
Mm,
you know, so it's like here I am being an uncle to a child who doesn't have her father no more, you know,
yeah.
and learning how to love her. And bro, even the smallest things, like I took my niece shopping and like literally had to find out all her sizes and got her working with different people inside, you know, the mall to figure out her size, and like people who were so patient just to help me figure out that little thing. Like,
Yeah.
man, I appreciated that a lot because it's like, man, it was hard. I wanted to cry so many times because one, my niece just looks just like him,
Mm,
you know, but it's like at the same time, you know, that's my way of being able to cope is knowing that, hey, I know that my brother's gone, but I'm at least doing what it takes for an uncle to take care of her to make sure that she still succeeds in life. You know, like,
it's crazy you say that because like my sister, so we lost my brother-in-law this November will be 3 years.
mhm,
Damn, man, it's crazy because it still feels like it just happened. But he was only 36, I want to say, when he passed. So he was still young. I mean, that's
yeah,
very young, bro. Like that's
my
younger than
condolences.
myself. Thank you.
Yeah,
And he left behind four kids, four beautiful children, and that I think hurts the most. It's like, damn, he didn't get to see his oldest boy. His oldest boy just got into high school.
yeah,
Like he ain't gonna get to see him play ball. We literally coached him from 4 years old up until it was like, and he was still with him. Like he loved the game of baseball because of the environment that we created for him.
That's dope.
So to see that now is like, so now we go support him. We're there, we're at the game. We try to be at the game because my daughter plays for the same school. She plays softball, so sometimes they have games the same day, two opposite ends of the park.
Yeah.
But we definitely do our best to go and be that supporting cast. Try to be that uncle, like you said, because dad's not there no more. Because we love them kids just like our own kids. I pick his little ones up every day from school.
Yeah.
So, and I look at them, I'm like, hey, you look just like your dad. I'll be like, damn, you look just like your daddy, and that should be crazy to me.
Man.
It's definitely one of those that's like, anybody that's watching, man, you ever lost someone, like, exactly what we're talking about right now because you probably done been through it.
And I encourage them too, like, man, don't stop. Keep going. Like I tell, like, the biggest thing I can encourage you with is like really take a moment to yourself and just stop your world from spinning and figure out those things that are bad right now that you may have affecting your environment and remove it. Because I feel like, man, that's the biggest thing you got to protect when going through these losses is your environment, your peace, the stability of your mind.
Yeah.
Man, you have to protect those things because those things, they could get you lost so
quick,
so easy, and it's like, man, it was getting to a point where it was like I felt like I was infatuated with a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like what? Like, man, like mornings I would wake up and still smell the alcohol. And I was like, bro, it was so annoying because it like you felt like crap. You just like, it just wasn't it, man. So
because in reality, it doesn't really make you feel any better. It actually makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
It might, for the moment, you be like, oh, yeah. And then the next morning, you're like, bro, why did I do that?
Yeah. And then you felt like the man for one day, popping a bottle in the section like you bought some land. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating nothing.
You bought the $40 bottle that you paid $300 for.
What a jackass. I'm sorry. That was
an
me.
idiot.
That was
what a loser. Good.
A sorry loser.
Yeah. So, one of those things, man.
Damn, I'm a loser.
Like
hey, I was only that for 4 months. I'm a better person now.
Like this.
No loser.
No, baby. L stands for love.
For real.
I saw that on Dodgeball. His wife was doing the L to him. He's like, that's not what it means. He's like, no, it means love. Man. So yeah, I love that we're talking about this, man, because I think it's one of those things that, we can sit here and talk music industry all day, bro, but again, we'll get to that, but
we can save that for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes. By the way, he's got a project coming out April 1st. Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh man, something that I think this is around the time that I had first. No, wait. When did we first meet? Did you come to Embrace? Was it when you came to Embrace the Culture, or we physically actually met?
At your show.
Yeah, at the Spindle Tap, right?
I think you're right.
Because I think you left there and went to the other one. The other.
Oh yes, that's correct. At Activo.
The Activo Houston, the Mex Fest thing.
Yeah, the Mex Fest. Yeah.
Okay.
That is right. You're right. I went to go link up with you just to, man. I was dealing with like trying to move not like move around again. You know what I'm saying, and get back in the scene. And
yeah,
so it was just dope to pull up on you real quick and just to meet you. Show some love and respect.
I for one appreciated you pulling up because there was a lot of people that I seen there that day that actually had events going on at the same time or the same day.
Yes.
But that came to Embrace the Culture to show love and just to, whether it was to show love or to see what it was going on or it was all good to me. I appreciated it. But upon meeting you, I felt like I had known you, bro. I felt like, man, this dude being cool, bro. Like I got to figure out a way to work with him. And Diva always spoke highly of you.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a plus, because I value her opinion, her and Anthony and the whole crew, man. I they tell me about somebody, I hear you. Like
if I had another sister and a brother, I would choose it'd be Anthony and Diva.
Oh, dope, man. Nah, they're really good people. I spoke to her on the way up here, and I was telling her I was interviewing you and just had a few questions for her, and just to kind of pick her brain a little bit. But so, but prior to that, right? I had seen some videos.
Yeah.
You know, it was a couple of you was going in on a certain someone,
Yeah,
pretty
man.
heavy, and I know it's industry related, and that's the only reason I bring it up because I'm sure people want to know what that was going on because I remember seeing one of the videos and I think it got flagged or taken down,
Yeah, it did.
and so like what was that about that whole little because I didn't really know you at the time like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on, but I did know the other party. And then I had just met you, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's going?" I'm like, "What's this about?" And then I saw the video, and then I didn't see it, but it seemed like you had a legitimate, argument or point to what you were saying.
Um, yeah, I did. And I just feel like, man, I always want the other person to be in the room when I speak on a situation like that.
Correct.
Because I never want to be the person that, hey, I spoke on a situation and you didn't give me my opportunity to speak back.
Correct.
But just to keep things like at a meaningful level, I was basically talked about, behind closed doors, you know, and I kind of felt some type of way about it when I found out because you got to think about it, man. It's 4 months after my mom passed.
Yeah.
It's at a vulnerable time that I'm finding out this information.
Okay.
You know, did I take the wrong approach as a man? Hell yeah, I did. You know what I'm saying? I feel like these situations that occur, they should always be um dealt with in a respectful manner that doesn't, tamper um with certain reputations on social media. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Did I handle it the wrong way? Yeah, I did. I felt like I could have handled it better. But at the end of the day, I did it the way that I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
So
can't take it back.
yeah, I can't take that back at all. And that's exactly how I was feeling. Every each word I wrote, that's exactly how I was feeling. Because I was man, that happened at a vulnerable time.
Yeah.
It was just 4 months my mom had passed, and I'm over here dealing with something that's like that really hurt me a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for somebody I love to go and talk about first of all, you know me longer than this friend that you're talking about me to, thinking I'm not gonna find out, but it's like, damn, like man, what? Like what the hell? Like my mom just died. You know what I'm saying? Like you were the closest person to me.
Like you know what I'm going through, and you're gonna do me like
Yeah.
this kind of thing.
Yeah, man, and it was like, dang, I felt messed up about that. Like I really entirely felt messed up about that. You know what I'm saying? And when I tried to approach it, it was knocked off. It was like, oh no, if we don't talk about it through text, we don't talk about it at all. Like what? Like man, I'm an adult, man. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely wanted to have a conversation. Cool, you didn't want to have it. It is what it is. Shoot, I'm gonna take it however I took it. And then at that time, I just lost my mom, so I was in whatever mood I was on.
Yeah.
Like it is what
Well,
it is.
if I can,
Like
I guess chime in about that, and I mean, I know it's none of my business, but to me, I feel like if you exhausted all your efforts to do it the right way and it didn't go out, then you did what you had to do.
yeah.
I don't see, to me, nothing wrong, in that aspect. Now, do I agree with? I do agree with what you said though. Like I've done that. I've handled things in ways I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And we go back to the earlier thing we talked about, acting on emotion.
Yeah,
'Cause I was
definitely.
hot.
I was
I was
hot,
ready.
man.
I was ready to call somebody out on social media. I didn't give a damn.
Yeah, for real.
I sit back and think, and then to be dead wrong, you be like, now you feel like an ass. Now you're like, dog, let me take this down.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dog, I was bugging.
And I had people ringing my phone, man, ringing my phone, and I was annoyed by that too. But it was like, and at the end of the day, it was the truth. It wasn't a lie. I'm not just gonna post a lie on social media.
That,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
and it's crazy we say that because we talked about that in the previous thing that we just did that you were able to sit in on the hype that with Jay Vaz and my friend Erica that we just had about telling the truth about being able to speak the truth because nowadays people don't want to hear the truth
They don't.
and I don't know why though it's the truth
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying but because it hurts or
Yes.
or it doesn't put a positive spotlight on that person that's why they don't want to hear the truth.
Or they don't want to tell them the truth because they feel like, man, that may mess up my relationship with them, and I'm benefiting off this relationship, so I don't want to interfere with that. Like, no, what?
One thing that I can't stand is if me and so got a disagreement, right?
Yeah.
And I'm all the way in the right. I hate when people try to get me to calm down and get me to hey, just chill out, bro, let it go. Like, nah. Because it ain't so much the issue, it's the principle behind the issue.
It's
That's
always
the
the
point.
principle.
Always, I think I saw something earlier today. The principle the principle be like this, but what actually happened is I don't care about that. It's like when somebody owe you money, bro. It ain't even
It's
the money.
The situation be this, but the principle be this.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It ain't even okay. Hey, let me spot me $40. I bet I'll pay you back. Okay, then you ask for it back. They get mad. Like, wait a minute, bro. You say you was gonna pay me back.
You mad about me? Like you owing me money?
Yeah, how you mad? Like, I the one that should be mad, but they always want you to be the peacemaker, and it ain't like we're out here trying to intentionally cause drama, but what's right is right and what's right is right. Like, I feel like bullshit needs to be called out, bro. Like, because there's too many bullshit people in this industry to begin with.
Hell yeah. And then I feel like, man, once again, my mom just died.
Yeah.
And I feel like now, since that situation happened, now you take an opportunity away from me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowing that I'm still trying to go out there and be that rapper that I am and go do these shows and go meet these people. Like, I'm still trying to do that. But now you're trying to take opportunity from me. Now I feel like you're playing with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, let's be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know your address, like, I know certain things, but it's like I'm not gonna lead myself to that point because one thing about me as a man, I cannot live with the fact that, hey, I sent someone to your door to harm you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't live with that.
Yeah.
I'll never go that route because I can't end that shit in violence. If I could end something, excuse my language too. I don't even know.
No, you good. No, yeah, you good.
But like if I could end something with a conversation, man, I'm gonna end that with a conversation because it's like, bro, there's certain things that don't even need to go further. Than what they are. You know what I'm saying? The situation just be so small, and you can converse with these people and just, hey, bring understanding with.
Hey, you can squash it with one conversation.
Yeah, man. Like I had a friend send me something, and it was talking about man, I wish I could pull it up. It was talking about expressing, right? Expressing how you feel, and then listening. And then at the same time, having a response. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what a lot of adults do not do. Yeah. They do not express how they feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And is the other person that you are expressing to, do they listen? Yeah. Or do they just listen to respond? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say that.
Sometimes I won't have a response for you. Yeah. Sometimes I may take 2 to 3 days to think about that because that one may be something that I may have to think about more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not everything deserves a response.
Yeah, you're right.
So sometimes I think about that in that aspect too. But it's like, man, going back to the taking opportunity away from me, man, I felt like I was being played with at the same time. Yeah. Like knowing that I'm still out here trying to live for my mom, out here still trying to grind, at a time that I don't even want to do it, bro. There was times I did not want to go to the studio. And I would tell Zano, man, bro, I'm sorry, bro. I feel like I'm so unprepared. He was like, man, you good, bro. He was like, just take your time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for my brother. He been knowing me since I was young. He's the only man on my life insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like literally when I was a kid, used to come pick me up from my grandma's house so that I could go to his mom's house and chill. And we were supposed to do music the whole time, and we never did music for 6 years. Wow. That became my brother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he been knowing me more than all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, man, I'm so thankful for him too, man, because it's like, man, he helped me get through this rough time.
That's dope. That's dope because that's rare to find. It's rare to find another individual, whether it be male or female, to be as solid as that. Yeah. So when you do have someone like that, man, you got someone like that in your life, man, keep that person, man. Be loyal to that person. Be the same way to that person.
Over 10 years, man.
I just met Anna at our toy drive this past year, bro. First time we ever met. She been rocking with us ever since. She been more solid than people I've known for years. So, we're like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. She got a contract that she don't know about. She signed when she was asleep one day. You took her. No,
that magic signature.
Yeah, that magic signature. Nah, but
Yeah.
it's just one of them. Finding people like that is rare, bro.
It
And,
is.
and so I always tell her how much I appreciate her. My wife loves her. Like everybody on the team loves her. Diva calls her firecracker. Man. Speaking of Diva, man, when I was privileged enough to come to the studio and hear the song that you guys had. I was like,
Yeah,
yo, this song was jamming.
man.
I got to hear the project.
Yeah.
Loved it. Talk about that, man. It's dropping. Well, go ahead. You got go on,
Um,
plug it, man.
the album Paralyzed Pain, it drops April 1st. I named it Paralyzed Pain because um when you're paralyzed, that lasts forever.
Yeah,
There's nothing that you could take back from that. So like although I'm going through a paralyzed pain, I still find perseverance and endurance through it.
mm,
So it's something that you can come out of. It's not something that you'll be stuck in forever. But at the same time, it's a choice if you want to come out of it.
yeah,
Because a lot of people do choose to stay in it. And at some time, I knew that was going to be the name for the album, but a few months later, as I was recording, I was like, dang, hold up, wait. I remember my mom was paralyzed. I was
mm,
like, how could I forget that? She was paralyzed, but the reason why I forgot it because it was such a way that you couldn't even see.
mm.
It was in such a way you couldn't even see. Like my mom, she was paralyzed, but she was paralyzed on half of her face.
Oh wow.
So when she would sweat, she would only sweat on one side of her face, and
Mm.
one side of her face was red. And I was like, dang, I can't believe I forgot about that. Like my mom was really paralyzed on one side of her face. So when I thought about it, I'm like, dang. And when I was like, my mom, that's something that she had forever. I was like, so it does make sense for me to name this album Paralyzed Pain. You know what I'm saying? Because it is something that lasts forever. It's something that will never go away.
Yeah.
It's something that you'll continuously dream about. Like, man, just a few days ago, I was thinking about my mom and my brother so much, man. Like, I was out working, like, I was feeling like crap. Like, I was just feeling it, man. Like, every thought was my mom, every thought was my brother, and going through videos, going through memories. And I'm like, bro, this is rough. And I'm like, dang, it's just gonna get more rough as soon as I release this project because this is like literally my heart that I'm giving you,
Yeah.
my pain that I'm giving you in the midst of me going through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that project though, man, like it's something amazing. It's something beautiful, very unique. The features that I was able to get on it, man, I love them. And I really, really, really wish I was able to work with more. I did have the opportunity to do so, but it was conflicting, certain times, certain schedules. Like
Yeah.
two people I really wanted on my album though was Tillo and Animes. Man,
Oh man.
amazing artists, and I can't wait to work with them. But I got the opportunity to work with FNF Chapo. I have him on my album. Cuban Diva, Jay Zano, Ivy Jones, and man, Ivy Jones. That one right there, that one hit home for me. Her feature. Oh, I love that song. She really, really, really like. She did what an artist does in the studio. When you go in and you create that vibe, you create that energy,
Yeah.
like. And she did it on an emotional level for me. And she was just like, man, she was like, Tutone, I think you need to speak to your mom in this song. Like like you've been going through it with her. Like, have you gotten the chance to speak to her through a song? And I was like, dang, man, that really hit home for me, for real. So, but Cuban Diva, that feature right there,
Yeah.
and Jay Zano, oh my God. I love that song. I remember when I was playing the beat, I was on 45 and West Road, literally leaving Canes. I had just got to eat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thought you was
Man.
at that hood Walmart. That's my Walmart right there. That's where you get a puppy and groceries at the same time.
I love that Walmart too, man. But when I was hearing that beat, boom, it hit me instantly. I heard it from called Diva. I was like, Diva, look, I got it, man. It's gonna go like this. And I was rapping it, but when you're rapping it, you're like, all right, I gotta hear it in the motion first. Let's hear how it sounds on the track. A week and a half later, boom, got in the studio, recorded, sent it to Diva, and Diva was like, hey, I see where you're going with it. Like, this is player, I can dig it. So I got Zano on board with it, and man, we created that feature, and it happened so genuinely. That's the best thing that I love about it.
It's dope. I'll say that, and that was the first song that I heard, of course, because
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
Y'all were kind of putting the it's like final touches on the song or
Yep.
whatever. But I was like, yo, this is crazy. Appreciate the tacos, by the way, man. They were pretty good.
Oh yeah, I did buy your tacos.
Yeah. When I got there, they were like, we got you tacos. I was like, y'all for real? Like, I thought y'all was playing with me. I said, man, don't play with me about food.
Man, for real.
They were on the chain too. But yeah, that was dope. And that was my first time meeting Zano. And I remember all of y'all were shocked, like, wait, y'all don't know each other? I was like, nah. Like,
Yeah.
never had met him, man. I think we followed each other on social media, but you know how it is. You think you know somebody because you follow each other and you might even interact, but you physically, I guess, like when we met. You know, you had done the toy drive for us, man, and a lot of the vendors were like, you know, when I asked them who stood out to them, you know, they mentioned you, and I thought that was dope because, like I said, we had a lot of talent up on stage that day,
Yeah.
and so for them to have singled you out was like, you know, I was like, okay, because I felt everybody did their thing, you know what I'm saying? But of
Yeah.
course, that's my perspective.
Mhm.
So hearing it from other people is like, oh, okay. That's especially people who aren't even in the music industry, but they
Yeah.
just know music. They just like music, or they
Yeah.
could see the performance, you know, the vibe.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming out and doing that for us, bro. Like that was dope. Hopefully we can run it back this year. We're back at Spindle Tap, Embrace the Culture, and the Toy Drive. So that's gonna be live. It's the 5 year anniversary, so I gotta have you on there, man.
Man, I'm more
Don't
than
go
excited.
nowhere else, man.
I'm more than excited. I got you, man, for real. Like, I just wanna give back my time to y'all too, because I appreciate y'all like still encouraging me to come out and book me for things at a time that was hard for me, like having to get up and go out. I'm like, Dan, I had to get myself mentally prepared, like
For real.
so I really appreciate y'all. So heck yeah, man, I can't wait to go out there and support y'all.
Yeah, and
You
then like when we do the toy drive, that's that really be about the kids, bro. Like I mean, I know we
Yeah.
have the performances, we have vendors, but it's really about what we do
Hmm.
for these children.
Definitely.
And we spoke about giving back of our time, our resources, our knowledge that we have, bro. Like our wisdom that we have accrued over the years,
Hmm.
whether it be through music, whether it be through the podcast, or things like that, like the toy drive. So I'm grateful, man. But I learned that from my pastor, man, Pastor Jaime. Shout out to
Yeah.
Pastor Jaime Garcia, Unique Student Ministries. He was always such a giving person, bro. Like he
Yeah.
was always that guy that he'd give you the shirt off his back if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Things would go like when Hurricane Harvey hit, they was at the church giving out food and clothes and all kind of stuff, and I was like, that's just live to me, and so it kind of gave me that also that giving, heart to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
um,
And I'm thankful for that as well, man, because I feel like we're just placed on earth. Everyone's temporarily here, so, make as much of an impact as you can, and don't do it with the heart that wants to be seen, do it with the heart that wants to just genuinely give, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And genuinely give when no one's looking.
and honestly, well, we've caught flack for that. The first
Oh yeah, I know
up,
that comes.
yeah, the the pictures or whatever. We're like, well, we're not really giving it to the kids and posting it.
Yeah.
We're collecting the toys and then we give it to the ministry and then they'll give them out or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't ever see pictures and I don't really care, bro. Like I know what I did. I did my
Yeah.
part. And I tell them, I said, look, bro, it ain't nothing wrong with what we doing. Like we're not glamorizing that we're out here doing a good deed. I mean,
Yeah.
if we are, I mean, yeah, well, I don't say we're not glamorizing, we're not promoting it as that. We're really out
Yeah.
here just doing something positive, man. And but people always find something to hate on. That's just how it is,
They
bro.
do.
So
And one thing they got to understand is like, bro, like think about how many more of these events that we need.
yeah,
Like, think about the kids who really don't even get nothing for Christmas.
yeah,
Like, bro, there's still a lot. So it's like, if you just be that seed and do the thing that you can, like, man, eventually other people will come and want to just partner along. Like, we get it. Yeah, there's cameras around, but like, it's not like we booked that to be there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, man, it's about us just doing it for these kids. And I feel like a lot of people miss that point.
yeah,
Like when I first hit you up, I'm like, I remember you wanted me to come out to perform, and I was like, man, to be honest, I'm just excited about being there with the kids because it is important. I came from a childhood where, yeah, my mom could give me Christmas presents, but that was only up to a certain age,
Mm.
So after a while, she couldn't anymore. So I was taking like people were donating gifts to us as a kid.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't someone bring toys because they saw you promoting the toy drive?
Oh yes, that's right.
Because I remember you telling me that
Uh-huh.
some guy DM'd you and was like, "Hey, I got a bunch of toys. I want to come drop them off."
Yeah.
And because you showed me the DM when you got there, you're like, "Look." And then I think I was on stage when the guy came and brought all the toys. Right? You saw that too? Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it from where I was, but I didn't know who it was until after. I think I had asked you. I said, "Was that the guy?" You were like, "Yeah, that was him, bro." Now he had, so
Yeah, man.
that's why we do what we do, because you don't realize who is gonna show up and give to the cause.
Yes.
So that's definitely a blessing, man.
I'm glad.
I sleep well at night. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about what nobody says, bro. Criticism is cool, whatever. I don't
And
really
I
care.
feel like they're gonna say something whether you do wrong or you do right. So
Exactly.
it's not like I feel like in life, people who are successful, they have to know how to remove that out the way.
Yeah.
Because that comes no matter what. That
Yep.
comes from family, that comes from friends, that comes from people who aren't your friends. Then we got social media. The way that I have implanted social media in my mind is it's another world. One, I don't care about social media, so anything I post is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Like I just don't care about it because it's like, man, it's just another world that you can just share things in. Like
Yeah.
I don't really care about other things. Like I have people who bash me on social media, bad comments. I have people who just like literally say the most horriblest things, but it's like I don't
Yeah.
care. I just laugh at it and keep going because I know who I am. I know what I bring whenever it comes to people around me, and like nothing can change that. So,
Yeah.
man, as long as you know that, you'll forever live on with it. Like I just don't care about it.
Oh man, I just want to say that I appreciate you giving us some of your time, bro. Out here today, I think we had some really powerful topics, some real powerful stuff that I hope people that are watching, that you guys got something out of this, man. If anything, man, just keep pressing on and keep going. Like there's no sense in giving up,
Yeah,
Like they say, if you keep going, it hurts. If you stop, it hurts. Either way, man, it's
it
gonna hurt.
hurts.
So you might as well keep going.
Yep.
So on that note, man, any last minute shout outs?
um, man,
I know some people hate that. They're like, don't put me on the spot.
yeah, nah. I'm cool with it. Man, biggest shout out to you, David. Like genuinely, man. Just thank you for just you know, being patient with me. And at the same time, just inviting me. Like you invited me out to so many events. We got to connect with each other, like genuinely on a smooth level. It was never forced.
Yeah.
It just happened the way it happened, and I appreciate that. So thank you for your platform as well. Like, a lot of people don't understand how hard it is to bring these things together and how much
Whew.
time it takes to like set these cameras up, set these things to be great, man. A lot of people don't understand what type of work that takes. So I really appreciate you for doing that because you're doing something that artists aren't gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you for that, man. And
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I do give you your flowers on that because that's a very huge thing for hip hop. So man, big shout out to you, TDM Talk Show, them damn Mexicans.
Yes,
Like,
sir. Thank you,
and
man.
man, shout out to FNF Chapo, man. My feature with him, like, it's called Hard to Replace on April 1st. They'll be able to listen to it on the album. It's the second track on the album, and man, I had so much fun with that record. Like Chapo hits me up so much on it. And man, hey, shout out to Chapo though too though. He just got signed to 1501.
Yeah, he signed my boy Carl, man. I went to school. Me
Yeah.
and Carl went to school together, man. And I seen that 15. Shout out to Carl Crawford and everyone at 1501 certified, man. That's dope.
Yeah, man, that's big, man. Just seeing another Mexican join the rap game like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, shout out to Mexican OT too, man. I gotta give them
Yeah.
a shout out because like these Mexicans right here, bro,
Yeah.
it's a different generation, but they're moving it. They're doing it, and I'm proud of them because to be honest, we have not had another big Mexican doing it besides SPM.
Yeah, that's true.
Like literally,
That's
besides
why I love.
SPM.
That's why I love seeing OT win so much, bro.
Bro.
By the way, I'm still waiting on an interview. B Don, Greg, OT.
Greg, Big
Hey,
Don, make that
OT
happen,
already
baby.
gave the green light. They already told me, yeah. But I'm just, I came kind of at the beginning of like the
rocket, when
the
the
rocket,
rocket,
yeah,
yeah.
because it was like, yeah, we're gonna get it done. Next thing you know,
He came right at the point when they pushed the button on the rocket launch, and it's just
yeah.
Man, shout out to them though,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to those guys, man. I
Like,
told B Don, I said, bro, don't worry about it, bro. I look, keep doing what y'all doing because that's
yes,
more important. You know, if I
yes.
get it, I get it. If not, it's all love. You know.
Man, going to his listening party, I was just thankful. Like that because, sometimes I want to apologize to him in a way too, because like my brother and my mother had just passed. So it's like, man, I was spending so much time trying to cope that I couldn't go out there and support him before, like, but I was thankful that we were able to get in and be in many rooms together and just like, genuinely connect, So just to see where he's at now and being able to go to his listening party and buy his clothing line, like, man, I love it. I love it
Dope.
because it's like, that's what we should be doing, man. We got to
Dope.
support our
Yeah.
Mexicans. We got to support our people, man. Like, we're moving quicker than no other right now. So we need to keep that train going.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hey, and Cuban Diva,
Yep.
Jay Zano, I love y'all. Ivy Jones, I love y'all, man. Hey, y'all can follow me on all social media and platforms at I'm Tutone. That's IMTUTONE, Tutone. That's me, baby. You know what
We're
I'm
gonna put a
saying?
link in the description, man. All you gotta do is click the link because I know y'all lazy as hell. So y'all go in the description, click the link, it'll take you to his Instagram page and all that good stuff, and you'll be able to find everything else you need. Do you have is it like a link tree or something, or what do you have?
Yes, in my bio, I do have a link tree. That
Okay,
gives
we'll
you
put
access
that.
to
That
it
way
all.
you can check out his music, whether it's Spotify, Apple, whatever you choose to listen to. Man, y'all make sure and tap in with bro, man. You know, he's a very talented young man and a good dude. I'm gonna say that. I don't really say that about a lot of people because a lot of you guys is suckers. And
A sucker for lollipops.
so I'm gonna just leave it at that, man.
Hey, can I get some encouragement real quick?
Yeah, go ahead,
Hey,
man.
man, look, we are us fellas, us man. Can I just say something? These men have to learn how to start being men.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a lot of men act like bitches lately, and it's not supposed to be like that, man. We are men of leadership. We are men of guidance.
Yeah.
We are men with certain roles that we got to be playing. And if you ain't playing that role, you need to learn to go find someone to teach you how to learn how to play your role as a man. We need to guide these streets, man, for real. Because I'm tired of seeing that. I'm sorry, I had to say that.
You
I
absolutely
had to
right.
say that, man.
And that's really a whole nother that's a whole nother topic. We're going that's
for the
another,
next TDM talk show,
or for the hype, you know. We kind of touched on that pause a little bit, but anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that because I could really go in, and I'm not really trying to go there. But
shout out to GT Digital too.
Yeah.
Shout out to GT Digital.
Shout out to everybody at GT Digital. Shout out to J Vaz. Shout out to our producer, Miss Anna Firecracker. The crawler. Oh, we haven't called you the crawler in a minute, but that's
the crawler. What was that about?
Yeah, we'll tell you in a minute, man. Hey, man, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that, man. Get me to 1,000. And keep it going, man. Like you said, support Raza, them damn Mexicans, TDM Talk. We got the clothing line coming back soon. We got a lot going on, man. Shout out to our sponsor again, Barrio Land. Shout out to my boy Javi at Barrio Land. Y'all make sure and tap in with him. The link is also in the description. And thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of TDM Talk. And we are them damn Mexicans.